Hey guys, you are with the Tech Science. Today the discussion point is neutralization reaction. This is what the new point belongs to the field of chemistry. We have already the concept, we know that concept like the concentration of the hydrogen ion, it is called pH, and concentration of hydroxide ion, it is called pOH. Generally we actually basic knowledge we already should be known before completion of this point is what that the pH scale starting from 0 to 14, from 0 up to the 7 we have all the readings belongs to the acidic in nature. Exactly at the 7 the solution nature is neutral nature, and from 7 onwards up to the 14 the basic in nature. So this is what the previous knowledge required for to you must know the basics regarding acid, base and the neutral reaction. Now what exactly the neutralization reaction is, that for the reason we have a very small activity is that what is the activity? We have one beaker, and in this beaker we have a 10 ml, we have a 10 ml of HCl. Observe here, this is a small activity. In this we have a 10 ml of HCl we have. Okay, it is called hydrochloric acid. As it is acid, it is, of course the reading is lower than the 7, and we have one pH paper. We have the pH paper to note down the readings of the respected solution, whether it is neutral, it is basic in nature, or it is acidic in nature. You can use any kind of media or the instrument. For example, we have the pH paper, we can use the universal indicator bottle etc. to measure the pH of the particular solution. And now we have a dropper. One more, we should have the dropper. We have the solution of NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, which is in a bottle, and with the help of a rod we put up the drop of the solution after adding NaOH in the HCl to check the reading. We have the glass rod. Okay, what is this? This is a glass rod. This is a glass rod. Okay, now what is the activity? Exactly some kind of apparatus you observe here. First of all, we have a beaker. In that we have 10 ml HCl. In a bottle we have the sodium hydroxide solution. With the help of dropper we can add drop by drop the drops of the sodium hydroxide into the hydrochloric acid. And here we have one glass rod. Using this glass rod we take the drop of this solution after adding NaOH and we put up on a pH paper and we calculate the reading. Okay, now initially we took first of all this 10 ml HCl, and using a rod we just taking a drop of HCl and we pour this water drop of HCl on this pH paper and we just observe the reading. As it is a pure HCl, of course it is acid in nature. It is acid in nature, and suppose the reading is in between 3 to 4 if I am not wrong. Okay, it is between 3 or 3.5 something. Okay, this is why, because this is a acid. Now using a dropper you can take a drop of NaOH and add in the drop of NaOH. These are the drop of NaOH you have to add using a dropper in a solution of the HCl. After adding the drop of HCl, now again you have to check the readings. After, for example, it becomes 4.5 supposed to be. Again add the drop of NaOH in the HCl, again check the readings. What do you observe? When you adding the drop of NaOH into the resultant solution of HCl, every time the pH it get increases, and you have to stop when the reading of the pH is equal to 7.0, and on a pH paper you appear green colored drops of this HCl along with the adding of NaOH. So if you observe, this is what the activity, and this activity, the output of this activity, if you want to inference, if you have inference of this activity, nothing but a neutralization. How? Observe here. The question is what is the reason when HCl and NaOH, when we add the drop of NaOH into the resultant solution of NaOH HCl, why the pH of the solution get increases, and the result for increasing into the pH of the solution after adding NaOH in the HCl, the answer is what? The answer is the process of the process of dissociation. The process of dissociation. Now question what is the process of dissociation? Here when you add HCl into the NaOH, it means that they are dissociated in their aqueous solution. NaOH dissociates in the aqueous solution, as well as HCl also dissociates in the aqueous solution. Now question is what? NaOH, when you are adding into the HCl, what happen exactly in this NaOH? If I want to be an ionic separation, what kind of ionic separation it have? It have like Na plus and OH minus. And regarding HCl, suppose it is dissociate in water, what happen here? The ions get separated into the H plus and Cl minus. So exactly you are adding NaOH into the HCl. It means that large concentration of OH minus ions from a NaOH solution is adding into the large concentration of H plus ion. This is what exactly happen in the process of dissociation. As we know that water molecule dissociates into H plus and OH minus ion in a very less extent. Water molecule dissociates into H plus and OH minus ions into the less amount. Now what happened here? So what happened here? Whatever the OH minus ions from the NaOH and this H plus ions from the HCl, when they added in the resultant solution, they forms a water molecule and completely dissolve in a solvent water. Observe what should be the net ionic, for example here if you want to observe what is the net ionic equation, then you observe this. For example, you are adding HCl into the you are adding NaOH into the HCl solution. What does this mean? For example, this is H plus and this is Cl minus. This is HCl plus NaOH split it into the Na plus OH minus ion. And what you got? Water molecule. This OH minus and this H plus forms a water molecule, plus two things are remain, Na plus and Cl minus. So this Na plus and Cl minus is on both undersides. Suppose we cancel this identical element. For example, Na plus, Cl minus. What remain? H plus OH minus gives H2O, and which is completely dissolved. Is it? So this is what the thing. Now suppose you are adding drop by drop all these things of the NaCl. Now what happened here? The concentration of H plus ion decreases when you add OH minus ions in it, and because of that the pH start to increase. As you are adding OH minus ions into the H plus, the concentration of H plus ions goes on decreasing, and because of that the pH is get increases. And when sufficient amount of NaOH is added in a HCl solution, here Na plus and Cl minus to form a salt, and remaining part is completely the water, and that is what here the neutralization reaction occurs. How? Observe this HCl when add with NaOH, what happen here? The salt get formed along with the water. This Na plus and Cl minus both are combined here and forms a NaCl. And at one stage when the pH is 7.0, at one stage when the pH is 7.0, it means that this is a neutral solution. This is a neutral solution. In short, acid react with the base to form salt and water, and this reaction is called as the neutralization reaction. Observe, when acid react with the base to form salt and water, this reaction is called as the neutralization reaction. So this is what the today's topic. What exactly the meaning of the word neutralization reaction? I put forth the neutralization reaction point in front of you using the activity, and in this activity you found that how the acid react with the base to form salt and water, and this is what the neutralization reaction. Further, we have number of questions are there. What kind of questions are there? Suppose this is a strong acid, this is a weak base, then what about the salt which is neutral? which may be acidic, which may be basic, and so on. So we'll discuss this point in the next lecture. I hope you understood the video. If you understood the video, please subscribe my channel and hit on the bell icon for the new notification. Thank you.